Things are getting worse, not better.
Have you ever looked at your paycheck and genuinely wondered where all the money went?
The monetary order is breaking down.
Is that consumers are now running behind inflation and they're losing purchasing power every month.
And cue the fire. America just unleashed total hell on Iran. But I have something so much bigger.
We're going to beat the effing out of them. And now, bombs away.
This is bigger than the Iran war, the Iraq war, whatever new war, and it's even bigger than this. As Israel says, U.S. is preparing for, quote, bigger than anything before Operation War. Okay, great. It actually doesn't even faze me anymore. This is what should give you absolute chills. You're like, well, I mean, I do see something like going off the screen. Would you like to know what that is? That is your bond market. That is your debt market, which is 4x times the stock market, and it's breaking out higher. Yes, but bravo, Walsh, the guy, the Fed guy, he kept the rates the same. The Federal Reserve, it's not federal, doesn't reserve anything, and it does not control interest rates. So let's just put that aside. However you've been programmed or institutionalized your whole life, it does nothing. Sit down and listen to me. Stand up. You've been sitting down for way too long. Here's the deal, and it really hit me from a PhD last night. He's a doctor. He's a double doctor. He's 85. He's done Dr. Lacey Hunt, if you know him. For the first time in my life, because I like the macro stuff, he switched. He went from deflationary, you're like, deflation? Whoa, what's that guy smoking? Okay, just track with me here. To inflation. And then gave the premise at which why and how and for how long you're not going to like this. Now I know, okay, what do I need to do? I'll show you that too. Right now, as a chartist, this is your 10-year yield. You don't want to break that. You broke that. This is what everything is financed on. You want to buy a house. You want to buy a car. You want to buy anything. It's the 10-year. The banks, well, they make money in between. Buy on one end, lend on the other, make the arbitrage, play with the Fed, play with themselves. It's just the game. People that are in charge, that are running the show, number one, it's a borderline between the banks and the Treasury. 1, 2, 3, Fed. You need all three for the Ponzi scheme to work. Right now, they want to change the Ponzi scheme. This Ponzi scheme started in 1913 with the Federal Reserve Act. Not federal, not reserve. And it has to do with money. I know the Constitution says gold and silver, but they're like, is there a way around this? Let's say we create an act. Right now, it's unconstitutional, but it's legal. Because when the politicians are like, hey, let's do this. Okay, it's legal, it's just unconstitutional. They created the Federal Reserve Act, then they're like, wait, how do we take the money out of the people's paychecks? Is there a way we can enforce it? I know. How about we create the IRS? In July 1944, we had the Bretton Woods Conference. And all these guys get together, and the system has been changing. It's getting ready to get changed once again. You could do that with a war. Anything happened in 1944? Just asking for a friend. They were able to create a system that they can create money out of thin air. A bank that has no money in it can lend money. I know what you're thinking. Well, that's illegal. Well, there's a Federal Reserve Act. So you don't even need to have reserve requirements. Nothing. Just go in and get a loan. Actually completed the full circle in 2020. In the great pandemic, never let a planned event go to waste. You know how many people didn't buy it? 40%. I was actually shocked. 40% of the population, they were polled, and they're like, the whole Wuhan, they're like, I'm not buying it. So 60% NPCs, 40%, they got a head on their shoulders. Now, if you went along with it, fool me once, you learned. No one in office has your back. None of the elites. They are here to make so much money. So now you have a treasury that prints bonds. You know this guy? Then you have a bank. The banks run the system. They make a lot of money. They're underwater. 2, Then you need a third person in the Ponzi scheme. That's the Federal Reserve or the Federal Reserve Act. Well, it's not working, and you have rampant inflation. Now, as a deflation guy, I'm like, how is it getting out? Because the only way you can have inflation or the loss of purchasing power is if you have more loans. It's not printing this. You have more loans because it's a debt-based system. How do you create a debt-based system? It's loans. Money is created only by loans. E-bills, bonds, bondage. This is the system, and somehow the dam is broke and inflation is happening. Or has been happening since 2020. I just had a light bulb moment. You could sit back and go, yeah, obviously inflation. The Fed go burr. It's like, okay, great. You just smash two rocks together and hopefully it sparks. So my apologies if this is kind of going over your head. That's why I created Follow the Money channel. So it's like macro. Super excited about this, but let's hear. Listen to Besant.
Were invented around Bretton Woods, which was post World War II. Europe was, and Asia was a unique time in America, and it led to incredible prosperity across the world. So why can't we do that again? And why can't we focus on growth? Like, what are the tools? What is hindering growth of these economies?
Okay, so he basically kind of fumbled around a little bit with his words, but you heard this. Bretton Woods, okay, new system, banks, growth, it's stopped. Yields are rising. They can't stop it. There's no growth. Our debt is exploding. Purchasing power is getting destroyed. So now a shoot from the hip kind of thing, let's just start a world war. Actually, Ed nailed this one in 23, which we all, yeah, okay. I'll give it to you, Ed. Quote, they're going to need a war so big, it's going to have to be World War III without nukes. And an alien invasion just to justify the spending they need. If you're like, but Bravo, there's no QE, QT, there's no spending. Guys, they're spending so much, this should spin your head around, and this is short term. And if you wanted to know what that story was, be a thumbnail like Citigroup says the Fed could deliver a surprise quarter-point rate hike. So you don't listen to these Citigroup, hawkish. The Fed is in trouble. Yes, the Fed should have raised rates on whatever that is. Interbank lending rate, whatever. Have lost control. And I think people are going, wait a minute. I've been seeing comments on X, which I've never seen before. Like the things that I've said ever since YouTube, and to explain to everyone how this works, I'm like, did someone pick up on this? And just to let you know, this isn't QE. Do you see that? Do you see that going up? Yes, but don't call it QE. That's Q. That was as far as they could take it. And now the printers go burr, which means the banks are lending. Why are they lending? Well, they shouldn't have. I'd be a little scared, but they are. Also known as money creation. Banks are lending out the wazoo. Why? They have protection. And 2 or 3, the Treasury is printing. They're printing short durations, and the banks are just flipping it. It's like, 1 month, okay, let's go. And then here, government, here's money. And the government takes the money and they give it to you. Inflation, loss of purchasing power, and higher taxes. And they are all on the same team. Look at this. Donald Trump is right. This is Elizabeth Warren. You're like, wait a minute, when was this? This was last night. Donald Trump is right. Eliminate the debt limit. Its only real function is to threaten an economic crisis. I'm ready to work with both Democrat and Republican Senate. They all are. When you want to see where our debt currently is, this is worse than ever. Look, U.S. debt now exceeds 100% of GDP. Well, once we spend more money, GDP is going to, we're going to have great GDP, jobs, everything. It's not working. You have 1%. And back during World War II, you didn't even count government jobs. Look at, ding, ding, ding. We're exceeding 100%. We're printing like crazy. It's doing nothing. So you're now in the print more. Trump would say, we'll print our way out of it. No, you're not. Currently printing like drunken sailors, and we just gave economic growth in the last 7 months. One are cooked. The game is over, and they know it. It's like taking two magnets. You know, you're like, you're okay. It's right at the end that you're like, wow, that was fast. We're currently in the denial, not QE, not printing, not there is no inflation. They're freaking out. Let's change it. Let's go to war. Start a new system. Living in hyperinflation, and no one wants to admit it. But you know it. This is 2020. Food prices. Look, do you see going back to 2012? Yeah, you got some ups and downsies. This one is off the screen, and it isn't stopping. When I say, do you think it's bad now? It's going to get worse. I've been looking at the core PCE, and I'm like, oh, we're going to come down. We'll stay down, and then, yeah, we could pop up. We're popping up. Oh, my gosh. It is not 3.3%, please. This is basically the government's like, okay, we're going to remove shelter, food, what else? What else do these NPCs use? Energy? Get rid of that too. All right, and breaking news, something that Peter Schiff said would never happen. Love the guy. Had him on many times. Now I sound like Trump. 2007 now, guys. Our 30-year is, and this is not like, if you were to chart that, it's going to go higher. It's just a sweet little 45-degree up. It's stay up. I remember Peter saying there's just no way the whole world would crash if, yeah, here we go. It's up. 30-year, and this is what he just said, 30-year Treasury yield is above 5.2% for the first time in 20 years. When that one goes up, when the long one goes up, what does that mean? That is inflation expectations. Those are the big words that they use. Higher for longer, more inflation. Can't solve it. Try to print your way out of it, and your economy not so good. Welcome to the Great Depression. We don't trust you. Walsh is afraid to raise rates due to the adverse consequences for market and economy. Sure, maybe, but his failure to raise rates will have similar consequences. We're damned if he does and damned if he does not. Peter, I agree with you 100%. So I come here today telling you we're damned. The only way they have out of this is to print, and they're printing, and yields are breaking out. About the 1 week. You're not. If you want to make money, click buy right there. The 10 years gone. The 1 week, you still have some time. How about this frightening chart that usually looks like this? This is the dollar versus the 30-year. Oh, shiitake mushrooms. And behind the scenes, again, like I was saying, they're all freaking out. And the Treasury like, we'll just buy back all of our debt. It's the Ponzi scheme. No one's buying it, we'll buy it. They just did. This is the buyback. Was it $2 billion? Another $2 billion, $2 billion, $4 billion, $8 billion. Just like you print it and you buy it. Banks have all this long dated stuff. We'll buy that too. Here, have some 6%. Now this is where it's going to get you. You have to pay it back at a higher credit card rate. I know your president says we're just going to pay that thing right off. Huh? There you go. There's your 40 trillion. There's your 358,000 that are going to take out of your paycheck. There is a way to solve that. Do what Trump does. Do what Elizabeth Warren does. Do what the elites do. Buy assets. Oh, by the way, in case you run out of time on this video, buy assets. Hyperinflation, in deep inflation and hot inflation. Buy assets. That own businesses, they can raise their prices. That have a job can't keep up with going into those said businesses to buy said stuff. A job's never going to cut it. It's never going to work. That's why on this channel, I always say, start businesses, trade equities, buy assets. But the dam is broke. They are going to lie to you at every corner. Trump's going to say one thing. Elizabeth Warren's like, you know what? I'm going to trust him on this one. So in the stock market, let's go ahead and get rid of that PDT rule. You don't need to have anything. Come one, come all. That was actually the day, and that was the very the very top of the market. You went into a triangle, which I've been telling you, and you came out of the triangle, made money. You're coming up, you may make money, go down, make money. And don't worry about that $2 trillion deficit, along with the $40 trillion, along with the who knows what unfunded liabilities. We're just going to go ahead and grow our way out of this. Sorry, sir, we're at 1. The game is up. Ever debt to GDP gets above, I'd say 68, 69. Anything above that, you're just sitting there grinding. You're at 122 and rising. What does that mean for you? You're not going to be able to keep up. Prices are going to go up. You're not going to get paid more. Elites think if they could start World War III, that'll solve it. Breaking news, war explodes in the Middle East. Pentagon scrambles for weapons, and President Trump is reportedly exasperated. The bigger picture is coming in from Asia, from Ho Lee Fook, the 10 and the 30. Frightening. Also, congratulations to my Microsoft holders. You guys hold through that? That was a good one. Just keeps going. The world is crashing, and us traders just keep making money. Stupid. I didn't create it. 1.5%. You'd think stock market sell off, stock market go up. All right. Last but not least, the Fisher effect. Again, listening to Dr. Lacey Hunt. Double doctorate, understanding the relationship between inflation and both real and nominal interest rates. Which, let me summarize this all for you with an Asian saying. It's a Ho Lee Fook moment. Almost 10 trillion is rolling over right now. Guess what your government, now Trump thought, oh, rates would probably be at 0 by now. Oh no, it's the highest since forever. We are now rolling over all of our debt, cheap debt, into, we have to pay it back at what? And just the cost to carry this for you is about $120,000. U.S. debt clock isn't going down. It can't go down because it's a debt-based system. You need more debt. So it will forever go up. You just don't want it going up at these rates. They don't have a solution. I have a solution for you, though. It's right here in my hand. Do you have this? This is what's called a hard asset. So what am I doing now? I am going to be buying more gold, physical, but I'm also going to be trading not GLD, it's the futures, a lot more, along with trading this. This was this morning, and I will give you the breakdown. What happens after it breaks out of that channel? That was E-mini NASDAQ, like taking candy from a baby. What did I say? You're above the 200. You're above the 20. Do you go up or down? Just start with this. Don't trade in this zone. This is the no-no zone. Like your first date, you have a no-no zone. Don't go there. You'll lose respect for her. She'll lose respect for you. Oh, and here was the market open. Candy, baby. All right, so here is your gold futures chart. Buy. Let me change it to a line chart. Buy. But this is not a hard asset. It's kind of a hard asset. Here's just one thing you need to be aware of. Actually, a few things. Okay, see that box? It's consolidation. It would not have shown you this falling wedge. You would not have seen that. So this is kind of problem number one. But don't let me scare you away. What's going to scare you away? It's a B move. I'll give you a B move. You're above the 20. There you go. Out of this falling wedge, I'll give you a solid B move. You just have one problem. You're 200. This, my friends, is your no-no zone. And how's silver doing? You're not even in the no-no zone. On silver, it looks like you guys are pretty tight, getting ready to break out. You do have a 7, 8, or 9. I mean, do you see? I'm just going to go with there's a high probability it's going to go up and hit the 200. This is all I'm giving you. And it is right in the no-no zone. When you go to Costco, get your hot dog, get your pizza, pick up some gold. And if you don't know what I am saying, take a course on it. The most valuable thing you'll probably ever take in your life. What's even more valuable is when you learn how to click buttons. And I would much rather you pay $2.99 than $3.99. I'm saying as a friend. Also here, click there. It'll be my new video, my trading channel that I traded this morning, just like what I needed. I needed 3 channels because you asked for it. Someone said, hey, can you do one pre-market? The answer is no. And with that, I love you. I will see you tomorrow.